Welcome in the new chapter. Students, today we will start chapter number 2. The name of the chapter is Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plant. This particular chapter, it is going to divide in further steps. So, the first part is what? That is flower. Second is male reproductive structure as well as formation of male gamete. Next part is female reproductive structure and formation of female gamete. Pollination, fertilization, where we will study about zygote as well as the embryo, and last one is seed as well as the fruit. Students, in this particular part we will study about the flower. Look at here, this is a flower. It is an angiospermic flower. So first we will focus on the various part of the flower. This stalk of the flower, that is known as floral axis. Below the floral axis, there are green structures, leafy structures are present. These are known as sepals. Combinedly, these sepals are known as calyx, or we can say group of sepals. These are known as calyx. Above the calyx, there are colorful structures. These are present here. These are known as petals. Combinedly, these petals, these are known as corolla. So, the group of petals is called corolla. Now the third word, that is what? That is androsium. Look at here. These are what? These are the stamens. Okay. So combinedly these stamens are known as androsium. And the fourth word is what? That is what? It is a gynosium. This is the female reproductive part, and this androsium, this is the male reproductive part. So this female reproductive part, that is what? It's also known as carpel. And group of carpel is known as gynosium. This carpel is going to divide in three particular parts. These are known as stigma, and the longitudinal portion, that is known as a style, and the oval portion, that is known as ovary. Now students, pay attention on this particular flower. Look at here. This is the stalk of flower, and these are what? These are the leafy structures. These are known as calyx. And this particular portion, the colorful portion, that is known as corolla. And look at here, this is what? It is the female reproductive portion. It is known as carpel. And this rounded portion, this is known as stigma, and that is a style, and below that ovary is present there. Here you can look at here, these are the stamens of the flower. These are known as male reproductive part of a flower. Students, there are two terms coming. These are unisexual as well as the bisexual. So let's focus on the unisexual. What is unisexual? The flower which contain only male or female reproductive organs. These are known as unisexual. So they will what? They will be incomplete flowers, because the complete flower is what? Where all the four whorls are present, means calyx, corolla, androsium and gynosium. If all the four whorls will be present, then only the flower will be known as complete flower. Because in this case, either male or female part will be present. So that's why they are known as incomplete flower. Next was, that is bisexual flower. So what happens in case of the bisexual flower? The flower which contain both male and female reproductive organs, these are known as full or bisexual flower or a complete flower. Okay. So example is what? Tulip as well as the sunflower. Students, there are four whorls of a flower. These are calyx, corolla, androsium as well as the gynosium. If all these four were present in a particular flower, then that kind of the flower is known as a complete flower. If anyone is absent, then that particular flower is known as incomplete flower. Students, we all are aware that in sexual reproduction, male gamete as well as the female gamete, they are going to fuse and they are making a new structure, that is known as a zygote. So now we will focus on the male sex organ. Male sex organ, in this particular point we will study about the stamen. So now focus on the stamen. Basically, in case of the stamen, this is going to comprises of two parts. First is anther and next one is filament. This lobular part, that is known as an anther, and this stalk, that is known as a filament. These are two important part of the stamen. Look at here. I'm having a stamen also. This particular stalk, minute stalk, that is known as a filament, and this yellow portion, that is known as a anther of this stamen. Students, there are two end of these stamen. First is proximal end and next one is what? That is distal end. The end which is very much near to the thalamus, okay, that end is known as proximal end, and the end which is very far from the thalamus, that is known as a distal end. So this is the distal end of this stamen. So in this case, because this portion it is very much near to the thalamus, so this is known as proximal end, and this is distal end of the stamen because this is far end of the thalamus. It means this end of the stamen, it is very far from the thalamus. That's why this portion of this part of the stamen is known as distal end, and this portion it is very near to the thalamus. That's why this is known as proximal end. There are two parts of a typical stamen. As we know, these are what? These are filament as well as the stamen. So these are filament as well as the anther. This is not stamen, this is anther. Next is what? A typical angiosperm anther is bilobed with each having two theca. Because each is having two theca, so this is known as dithecous. It is very important portion. Again, pay attention here. A typical angiospermic anther. Angiosperm means what? The plants, those which are producing flower. So the angiospermic anther is bilobed. Look at here. This is the anther portion. Okay. So what happened? This anther is bilobed. This one is one lobe, and the below it is present, that is the second lobe. Okay. Now what happened? Each lobe is having two theca. Okay. So this is the first lobe. So this particular lobe, each lobe is going to divide in two parts. The upper portion, this first lobe is going to divide in two portions. These are known as theca. So this is first theca and this is the second theca. Because we are having two lobes and each will carry two theca, so total number of the theca will be 4 here. Okay. Next point has mentioned by longitudinal grooves runs lengthwise separating the theca. So what happened? There is a groove present which is going to separate the theca. This is longitudinal groove which is going to separate the thecas. So an anther, it is what? It is tetragonal because it is having four-sided. Okay. And what happened? It is a four-sided structure consisting of 4 microsporangia. Look at here. These are 4 microsporangia here. Okay. Located at the corners, 2 in each lobe. Because what? It is this whole, it is one lobe, and this one, this is what? It is the other lobe. So in each lobe there are 2 microsporangia present. Next point, microsporangia develop further and become pollen sacs. They are packed with pollen grains. Here what will happen? The formation of the pollen grains will be there. Again, pay attention. This is a stamen and this is what? It is anther. Be careful. In each anther there are 2 lobes. Look at here. I have colored these all portion in a two parts with 2 colors. So this is what it is. This black one is a upper one and this blue one is a lower one. These are 2 different lobes. They are present here. Okay. Each lobe has 2 theca. This black one again it will going to divide in 2 lobes, and this blue one is again it is going to divide in 2 lobes. So combinedly it is going to make this particular structure. Okay. And these dot structures, these are known as microsporangiums. What will happen? Here the formation of the pollen grains will take place.